And we are back with FujoHoraire. How are you doing, Fujo?
I am doing well, thank you.
Yeah, Fujo kind of is carrying the marathon a bit on the runner side because he's in like half the runs at this point. But doing the good all bosses unrestricted for DS2 vanilla. Actually, really fun to see this. I haven't watched too much unrestricted for all bosses since party walking was not around for that long. So I'm very used to the restricted route instead. But there's a lot of cool skips in this, as I'm sure you'll demonstrate.
Yeah, this is a really good run. It's like one of my favorite categories, essentially. So I'm really excited to show it.
Yeah, and very cool that it brought also the category below the 2-hour threshold. Finally, the fabled 2-hour threshold.
Yeah, I was the first runner to do sub 2 hours in this category. Actually, yeah,
Absolutely.
it was pretty.
Will he do it again today? Only one way to find out.
We'll see.
But yeah, I'll. You want me to count you down?
Yep, sure. Do.
All right. So, ready to start in 3, 2, 1, go. Good luck.
Okay, so this is all bosses unrestricted on vanilla. So essentially, the idea of this category is to kill all bosses, including DLC. So we're gonna do like all the base game bosses, the DLC bosses, which are like there's 9 of them in Aldia. So this is gonna be pretty long because we can only do this category on current patch, so we don't have access to like Dino Boost or patch Parry Walk. And yeah, this is if you're used to all patch, this category is gonna be pretty weird to watch because it really mixes things from both all patch and current patch. For example, we stopped Bennett in this because Bennett actually has pretty good stats for melee build, because yes, this is going to be a melee build. A category like all bosses in the DLC, for example, relies on hexes, but in current patch, hexes are just not viable. Like, what we're going to be mainly using in this is going to be the rapier, especially the dark rapier with dark weapon. So starting Bennett in this is actually pretty good. Because Bandit, Bandit is just he just has like a lot of really good starting items and good stats. So yeah, that's why you start Bandit in this. Pretty much, safe reason in a lot of categories. Also, yeah, the early game routing in this is like kind of tight because you have to buy the butterfly skirt, which is an item I'm sure you've heard of. Right at this point. A butterfly skirt allows you to moon jump, which is a pretty broken trick. Allows you to do some massive skips. Also allows you to parry walk. Although you don't need it technically in current patch, it makes parry walks much easier, much more consistent. And yeah, since we need moon jump anyways, might as well get the skirt anyways early on.
Yeah, and especially in vanilla, there's some skips that are not possible with party walks like you can in Scholars, such as the alias gate, which I guess you probably just use the ring for in this, maybe, or do you skip it?
I'll just skip. So yeah, I'm doing kind of newer routes. So because we have moon jumps, we can actually do audio skip, and that is a pretty massive time saver in this. Because we can do. So basically, there is a boss called Vendrick, and Vendrick has a gimmick where you need to get a bunch of giant souls to fight him, and a lot of the giant souls are in the late game. So the idea with I'll just keep skip is we're gonna get like all the giant souls from late game and then go fight him instead of having to go to crypt twice, because you normally in like a glitchless playthrough, you would fight Velstedt, get the souls, and come back for Vendrick. Here, we're just gonna do them at back to back, essentially. So yeah, the start of this run is actually kind of funny because there's not many glitches. Like the first areas are pretty glitch free, and craziness is gonna start like. It really starts at like 15 minutes. So yeah, because this is unrestricted, we can actually use FPS toggling. Yeah, some tricks in this game are actually a lot better at lower frame rates. For example, this skip right here, I can just do any angle, it works. Whereas in like a restricted category, you would actually have to aim it. I don't have to do that. Okay.
Also, one really cool thing about all bosses unrestricted in particular is that compared to old patch categories that you have like a lot of the same skips or potentially even longer skips, you never see the DLCs. And all bosses really makes use of skips in some of the DLCs, especially like in Broom Tower. Not as many, I guess, in DLC 3, but there are a few.
Yeah, DLC 3 is really short because you do one skip and it's enough to
Yeah.
like skip everything.
Yeah. But yeah, very cool to see how that affects the DLCs, because also it was a big question mark, like how would that be if you had parry walking in the DLCs of Dark Souls 2?
So there, I'm trying to do a newer strat for the last giant where you use Bino cancels. Stamina management's a bit tight on that though, so I don't know if I'm gonna get it.
Yeah, so what Bino canceling allows you to do is normally you wouldn't start regaining stamina until the animation is completed. And Binos, if you do it like late enough in the animation, you will cancel the attack animation into the Bino animation and start regaining stamina immediately. So with some weapons this is very useful for if the one-handed damage is good enough and the attack is otherwise slow enough, it's good for adding extra DPS. But it does bring a element of timing because you can't just spam R1 to do damage.
Yeah, so Melange is pretty important in this because she sells bright bugs, and bright bugs give you like 20% extra damage, so this is really huge. And she actually refills her stock of bright bugs every time you reach certain crucial points in the run. So basically, we're just gonna like go back to Majula a bunch of times so we can get like a big stock of bright bugs, because late game bosses are actually really strong, especially DLC bosses. So even though we have crazy damage, bright bugs are still really a crucial part of the run.
Yeah, and
So
also
yeah,
this, the cost later on as well. So even though you don't have many souls this early, it's yeah, it's quite expensive by the end of the game to buy. As I think they doubled the price. No, it increased by 6k every time, right?
yeah, they get crazily expensive at the end. So yeah, this was Pursuer. Pursuer in current patch is a joke. Like you just run forward and he dies. Yeah, and so the reason you go to Bastille early is for upgrade material. We're just gonna get like a +5 rapier to start the run. It takes a bit to set up to get all the stuff from this place, but it's actually faster. Yeah, gonna try this skip, little skip. Doesn't work, of course. You can actually skip opening this door by jumping on the side, but yeah. So yeah, we're gonna have to our encounter with the barrel, which is a really fun part of the run. The physics on the barrel are random, and whether or not it actually like breaks a wall is random. So maybe we're gonna see some memes here. Perfect barrel. So yeah, we're just gonna rest here to get rid of the aggro of all the enemies, and then we're just gonna like loot the upgrade materials here. So technically, yeah, I don't need to loot all of that, but because I'm buying the butterfly skirt early, I'm like really broke right now. So any form of like any way to like save souls is welcome. Like the routing wouldn't work if I didn't open this chest. So yeah, the butterfly skirt is sold by Moglin, which is an NPC that dies in a lot of categories, but we need to keep him alive at least during the early game so he can buy the skirt. But yeah, because we don't, you would normally kill him to like get the set and get really rich. So yeah, we're just gonna have to spend some souls at his shop. So right there, I spent like 15k soul. So he changes. So his shop actually gets like extended. It's like you need to spend a lot of souls at Moglin, like 15k, so he actually sells the skirt. And you also need the game to be NG plus. That's why I burnt an aesthetic at the start. So yeah, Moglin we're actually gonna kill after that. Don't worry. If you really hate Moglin, yeah, you're gonna be satisfied. So yeah, the reason why we go to hides this early is because Dragon Rider like has no requirements. You don't even need a weapon to kill him. It's basically like Pursuer. It's a pretty consistent like setup to kill him.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is like the last bit to get like our build, and then after that we're gonna head to DLC 1 because we're playing vanilla. We actually start with all the DLC keys, which means that like DLC 1 is like takes like no time to get to.
Yeah,
So,
it's very beneficial because some of the items in there are very good to have early, like the Flint's ring, especially.
only reason we go to DLC 1 is for Flame's Ring, essentially. Like no other reason.
Yes,
well,
but
the
some
boss
of the run
is
through
later
is good
on.
to get out of the way because you also already you have to bone back to one of the bonfires anyway for the normal routing, so it's not too bad to do that pathing early.
Yeah. So yeah, that was Dragon Rider. Very difficult. Just run forwards at the right time.
What a boss.
So back in Majula,
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, back in Majula, we're actually gonna get our first two weapons, the Mace and the Rapier. Mace is actually gonna be very useful in a couple places. Because Rapier, although Rapier is like, oh, I forgot to pop both of the souls. It's, well, I'm gonna just kind of pop this one here. Yeah, the Mace, although the Rapier is actually pretty good against like most things, some bosses are actually pretty resistant to thrust damage. So it wouldn't be it's actually more optimal to get a Mace. Yeah, and Moglin is NG+, so he takes like a lot of hits to kill.
Yeah, it's really strong.
Yeah, so we have a setup
dying
to
like 2 hits as well if he actually hits you, so...
yeah, we have a setup to stagger him with the bomb. It's actually really good. It's like the only reason why I get like extra bombs. Yeah, I need to buy 4 here. So yeah, we get the cat ring just so we can survive more full damage. Gonna get some mosses.
Wanted to mention also briefly, because I don't think we talk about it much, but one thing Fujo did when warping to Majula, we don't really have a good name for it, but it's the same process as attunement glitch, where you open the menus using the mouse as you warp, and that also allows you access to the item box. So if you want to free up your inventory without spending any time when you're otherwise moving, cleaning it up, the item box is very nice to just move stuff off while you're already in the warping animation.
Yeah, so there we go. The mace allows you to like one-shot this lizard. It's really nice. And we kill this lizard because he drops a Dark Knight Stone, which allows you to do Dark Infusions, and Dark Infusion is actually pretty broken when combined with Dark Weapon. So yeah, that's why we kill this lizard.
Yeah, especially because in this game you can actually use the spells on infused weapons. Whereas you normally can't use the resins. That damage stacks and it's actually really good. Surprisingly also with lightning and dark combined, even though split damage is something you probably usually wouldn't want to do. Surprisingly good in this game for that, especially that combo.
Yep. So yeah, was the gutter pathing. Did some safe strats there. You'd normally see me do Jeff jump in there, but yeah, just doing some marathon strats. Yeah, so yeah, Rotten is like a big reason why I get all these upgrades early, because Rotten is actually pretty strong, but if you have like +5 rapier, a bit of upgrade of like buffing, it's really not a big issue. So I'm gonna get this bonfire for later, because there's a bunch of stuff that you need to do in all bosses in the Black Gulch. We gotta have an NPC to talk to, some extra enemies to kill. But we're gonna do that later, when we have actual good damage. So yeah, the Rottens are like a really slow boss. You can just do some pretty big combos with the rapier. And yeah, the thrust damage just melts Rotten. That was insane RNG, by the way. Wow.
Yeah, this is so clean. Nice.
Yeah. I actually didn't play it perfectly, but yeah, that was still
Yeah, I
super
was
fast.
one that was a little bit stamina or something, but
Yeah.
they're very good.
So we need to light this primal bonfire here for Aldia, because Aldia is probably know of him. He's an NPC in Dark Souls 2, but also a boss. He's like the secret final boss. And you actually need to do a lot of things to get his boss fights, and one of those things you need to do to get to him is to light all the primal bonfires and also exhaust all his dialogues in all locations. And yeah, all throughout the run, you're going to be seeing me light primal bonfires and talk to Aldia. So yeah, DLC 1, like it's actually called Crown of the Sunken King, was the first released DLC, so we call it DLC 1, but yeah, so...
Insane actually knowing the name of the DLCs, holy.
So yeah, as I said, we're not going to spend much time here, and you're going to start seeing like tech we use in this run. So yeah, this is a moon jump. pretty big jump. Also, I need to salt my armors. And yeah, moon jumps are just a really like nice tool for movement, and
yeah,
also allows
you can
us
jump
to
over part of that without the skirt, but you have to time it well, otherwise the roar of the dragon or the movement of the dragon will stagger you a little bit, giving you a baby jump.
Yeah. It's gonna be a recurring theme in this run, but basically we're gonna parry walk an enemy at the start of the DLC and just go to the very end, because this bonfire right here, you can see from the start, it actually takes a while to get to normally. So you have to get some keys and do some backtracking just to get here, but yeah, you don't need to do all of that if you have parry walk. And yet parry walk in current patch has this weird property of having a timer, so you just wait 30 seconds and it just stops, so you don't have to worry about heights. It's actually going to be really useful.
Yeah, also you cannot jump during them like you can in old patch, so one thing Fujo took advantage of there, which you will see in a few other places as well, I believe, is that you line up the enemy close to a ledge so that the initial jump of the party walk lowers your height, which allowed him to interact with the bonfire before the party walk was over.
Yep. So yeah, we're just gonna get the Flynn's Ring. It's a bit deep in the DLC. Well, you just need to go through these corridors. The Flynn's Ring is like one of the most like questionable items in terms of balancing. I don't really know why this item exists. I'm glad it exists,
especially when the
because
slower weapons aren't exactly like overpowered in this game to begin with, in terms of like compared to the faster weapons. So having an additional huge buff on the fast weapons only, that's
Yep. So yep, Flynn's Ring right here. Not a lot of work you need to do in this category to get Flynn's Ring out. So now that we're done with Flynn's Ring, we're gonna go back to Heights Tower. You're gonna see, yeah, the routing's gonna be a bit surprising if you're used to Restricted, but we're gonna do Flexile first, because it's actually faster. And then we're gonna do the Dragon Slayer, or Ornstein, as people call him. Ornstein drops an item called the Olbio Ring, which boosts thrust damage, counter damage actually, which you know, like the rapier is already a pretty strong weapon, so yeah, it's gonna make the rapier even more busted. And yeah, reason why we do flex style is because it's like a really weak boss, so there's no reason to just add an extra warp in the run. So we just do Flexile and Dragon Slayer in one go. And near Flexile, there's a bunch of resins, and yeah, the resins are actually gonna speed up the both fights by quite a good margin. So yeah, this area is very RNG. I'm actually gonna grab the bonfire. Normally you would just walk back from Flexile to hides, but yeah. I tend to die a lot here because you still have base stats. I haven't leveled up yet, so the enemies in this area tend to just combo you to death. It's pretty annoying.
Yeah, there's so many of them. Especially where you do the shot for the fastest run through here.
Yeah, I'm not sure it's gonna land. I have a backup, so don't worry.
Yeah, seems good.
Yeah, it actually hits. Let's go. So there, you don't need to do all the complicated stuff you would do in Restricted. You just moon jump across the thing and that's it. And we don't even have to wait for this little door to open because we can just moon jump over it. And if you're fast enough, I wasn't fast enough, but basically you can actually clip through the floor and land like here, right in front of the boss fight. But yeah,
Ooh, that's cool.
I don't go for that because it's like there's no like actual visual cue for that.
Yeah.
I got the bad opener. Normally you can two-cycle this boss. But yeah. So yeah, that was a actually pretty clean wolf. Believe it or not, a clean wolf doesn't happen very often on my stream. Tends to be a big run killer, because doing it fast it's not exactly easy. So yeah, another cool thing about running like all bosses in vanilla is hides. This entire area is less crowded. There's no dragon, and there's less knights running around, so it's very, very chill. Like you don't have to worry as much about like getting running through here. So when people speedrun Scholar, they usually delay going here early. Because yeah, this entire area is it's pretty bad. Here we just have to kill one dude sitting like here. It's pretty like funny to me how simple this area is in vanilla.
Yeah.
And yeah. So yeah, hopefully I'm gonna get a nice little trick here. It's a classic one in no bosses. So you just pull this lever, use the resin, and if you jump, nice, you can clip through this.
Easy.
And there we go, Dragon Slayer.
Yeah, so even though the boss actually does dark damage, it's surprisingly good to use dark damage on him. It's usually not the case for a lot of bosses in this game, but dark and lightning are surprisingly versatile on bosses.
Yeah, there's only very little enemies where dark and lightning are not good in this game. It's like, why would you use any other type of damage when dark and lightning exists? It's a bit fascinating. So now that we got super rich from killing all these bosses, we can actually level up. Main reason we're gonna level up is so we get more endurance. We also need health for later, but it's not really needed at this point, but yeah. We also get some intelligence so we can talk to Filkin, which sells Dark Weapon, which I mentioned before is like one of our main sources of damage. And there we go, like I buy some more Bright Bucks from Nolansha because she refills her stock after you kill Rotten. So now we're gonna head to this path, which is the essentially the path to Huntsman's Copse, and then later on Irvine Peak, and then Iron Keep. It's because in Iron Keep there is an item called the Dual Ember, which allows us to talk to a merchant that infuses weapons. So we have to go all the way to Iron Keep just to get that item, so we can actually get our main build. Yeah, the Dual Ember is actually has a really weird location in Scholar. If you're used to Scholar, it's in Bastille for some reason, like right next to the NPC.
Yeah, they just put it right next to the blacksmith instead.
But yeah, here the routing here is centered around like getting Fling's Ring, getting Audio Ring, and just going for the Dual Ember. And yeah, by the time we get the Dual Ember, we actually Dual Ember and go to the NPC, we actually have enough materials for +10, which is like the max upgrade you can get for a weapon, like a normal weapon in DS2.
Yeah, and from Falcon there, you got the staff that he will be using for the rest of the run for a dark weapon. Because as the rapier gets dark infused, you can no longer use the dark resin on it, and instead you have to rely on dark weapon. Dark weapon is also very good.
Yeah. So back then we used to get Yearn from Perillion, which is an NPC in Warf. But because we don't really need Yearn in Unrestricted, because we skip so many things, we actually don't get Yearn. So the only reason we get a staff is for Dark Weapon, really. We're actually going to use a bunch of other spells. For example, I bought Force and Homewood. You're going to see them later. But it's like actually a lot later in the run.
Yeah, and those are also require a chime instead of a staff, so only on the dark weapon.
Yeah, so there I just skipped like the entire bridge section. Took a bit to get over that ledge. I don't know why.
Yeah, I was getting a bit scared there, because if the timer runs out while you're still below the ledge, then
yeah.
But you have quite a bit of time there, luckily.
The pathing through cops during the power walk is very weird, because you have to like dodge some loading areas.
Yep.
Because when you load like a new chunk of the game, basically the power walks can break. Because in order to be in the power walk state, you need the enemy to be loaded. So you can actually abuse like getting deloaded to break the power walk, for example. A lot of other stuff like that.
It's not always super obvious how these areas are connected. Sometimes like a big area can be like one zone. Other times there are bunch of smaller like inner zones. Probably just some various levels of optimization done to the different areas, depending on how many enemies there are, effects, etc.
Yeah.
Some areas are.
Yeah. Some areas are like really small, I suppose, because they like actually made this game for the PS3 and 360, which are like pretty weak hardware.
Yeah, so they might just be bad based on like when in the development cycle they were created, stuff like that. It's hard to say.
So yeah, here you see me use some dark pine resin and the mace. The rapier is really weak against skeletons, so there's like just using a +1 mace is a lot better. Basically one-shot all of these skeletons. Yeah, so another thing you can do with Moon Jump is actually get on this bridge earlier. Nice. So yeah, there's tons of little jumps you can do here and there to save time. And the way these moon jumps work is really weird. You just like equip the skirt and then jump right away, like a few frames later, and somehow it makes your character jump infinitely high. I don't like, yeah, it's a real shame I can't give you technical details, because these glitches are really weird. This game just has a lot of really weird glitches around, like, yeah. So there we talk to Chloanne, because she sells a really good spell called Solar Peas, and she also sells some great materials. because we're actually gonna get a second weapon, other than a rapier later on, like fully upgraded for late game. And some out of bounds movements. Totally glitchless. And yeah, my favorite boss. This boss gets like destroyed every run. Like, every time you go to Heaven Peak, you are already upgraded, so he doesn't get to fight for very long.
There aren't very many routes anymore where Covetous is allowed to move much. 1 or 2 attacks, I think, at most at this point.
So yeah, Irvin Peak, it's a very vertical level, so there's no big skips yet. Go through here.
Yeah. I've spent a lot of time in this tower looking for cool new skips, especially back in the day when you had very bad mytho skips, but there's also a lot of development there for categories like RBO. Some of them which you can also do on current patch with the 30-second timer.
Yeah.
Fujo will not be doing that though, because skipping bosses is not very fast if you have to kill all of them.
Yeah. This is why I like running categories like All Souls in 80%, because all bosses just doesn't have that many skips, surprisingly, compared to like the amount of parry walk skips that exist to skip things.
Yeah, just because of the amount of damage you can get in many cases, it's usually not that much faster to skip some bosses than just going through them. For the set of time
we can just
skips.
moon jump over this ledge. And yeah, this next boss is actually a bit annoying, because we didn't burn the windmill, so we actually have to deal with poison.
Yeah, not only does the poison reduce your health, but it also heals Smitha slightly throughout the fight. So if you have very low damage, it gets extra scary for that reason. And depending on how fast the fight is, it might actually add another hit or two to the boss.
Yeah, this boss
Right
is
there.
very chaotic.
Yeah.
Like the AI it's very hard to predict what she's gonna do. She likes to like not do anything, and
Yeah, the passive Mytha is the worst. You don't know what's going to happen at that point. Suddenly you get a grab or something and it's over.
it's really tempting to go for like really YOLO combos because the rapier's fast. The problem is you don't have very good stamina regen in this route, so that's why we usually play super careful on this fight. Really, yeah.
And it's very easy to get antsy as well when you have the constant HP drain and the poison. Maybe you used the life counter early and now you don't have a heal anymore, stuff like that.
Yeah, that's why I got the old Radiant Life Gem. It's because the HP regen lasts for super long, so it allows me to
heal is not actually different, like amount per tick, but the old Radiance lasts way longer.
So yeah, bright bugs are like spam through these bits of the game because the 20% damage increase is just absolutely insane. So we just bright bug just to kill these guys faster.
Yeah, you can tell when you're these two runners, we are taking the 20% damage increase is absolutely insane. Meanwhile, the other has like 100% and stackable. But yeah, it's very, very important, especially when you can stack them with stuff like RTSR on some bosses.
Yeah, the funny thing is you can't stack bright bugs with green blossoms.
Yep.
Yeah, there's like it just cancels them.
Body types do not work together, so for some reason.
So yeah, Smelter Demon is a pretty concerning boss. Yeah, I don't know what he's doing. Like, he doesn't usually do this many combos because he's normally scripted to like do these like buffs. But yeah, he did 2 attacks there.
Yeah, and his resistance is very high as he buffs. And after the buff, he'll do a fire tick damage when you're close to him, so you saw Fujo was using a life gem there instead of attacking, just because there's not too much reward to attacking him during the buff either way.
So here I'm grabbing some extra butterflies. You would not normally get them in like an optimized run, because you can get them from a much faster place, but because this is a marathon, I go for safer strats. Okay. So we're just gonna parry walk this guy to get straight to Old Iron King, and we're gonna see a new kind of parry walk tech. We're gonna use a ladder here to phase through this wall. So yeah, you just run against the ladder, and yeah, you can just teleport through the walls.
Yeah, whenever you're actually stuck in place in a parry walk, even though you're behind a collision, there's a position tracker that keeps updating in the direction you're running. And the ladders just break the collision of your model to enter the ladder animation, and you just immediately get teleported to the place you actually ran to. There's a lot of cool tech, honestly, with ladders combined with parry walk. It's quite broken. Alright, fire back right away. It's pretty good.
Yeah, I got really lucky here because I got the 2-cycle RNG.
Yeah.
Alternative one. There is a setup to get like the laser opener, which is the fastest RNG, but I couldn't pull it off. So yeah, right here we're gonna light another primal for Alia, and we can just go to DLC 2. Reason I go to DLC 2 now is because there's some upgrade materials. There's some chunks which I need in order to get to +10, and yeah, same thing, because this is vanilla, we start with all DLC keys. So yeah, no need to backtrack like in Scholar. One of the bigger reasons vanilla is so much faster in a lot of categories, like current patch categories, is because you don't have to like backtrack for DLC keys.
Yeah,
because technically sorry. Technically you can get a better upgrade earlier in Scholar Unrestricted, but it's because you have to do so much backtracking in Scholar, it ends up being slower.
Yeah, the resources are easier to get in Scholar, but you also have the extra branches you need in some cases, unless you want to do skips for those. And some places where the enemy positions are just more difficult to deal with or take more time, like in Hydus Tower, compared to vanilla.
So yeah, we're gonna completely abuse the verticality in this DLC. Yeah, just there's a lot of jumps you can do this area just to like skip everything. And there's like one of the biggest skips in this run coming up, which is called the Snake Eater skip. And yeah, you're probably gonna understand what I mean if I manage to get it. This angle doesn't look good. Never mind. So yeah, another ladder abuse. So
yeah.
Yep.
So what's happening here is that when you saw him do the parry walk there, he didn't actually land on the ground in the corner. Instead, he fell slightly below the ground. But he's still able to grab the ladder since the collision doesn't allow him to go through. And as soon as he grabs the ladder, he's below the bottom point of the ladder already. And the way the game works then is it never detects when you're at the bottom. So you can keep sliding down infinitely. And since the parry walk also breaks on the transition of different areas or on the timer in current patch, you can get off the ladder and just drop to the bottom.
Yep.
And luckily, as well, like very fortunate that the fall will be from where you dropped off on the ladder instead of the difference between where you started and ended, like you normally would.
Yeah, you can actually get super, super low, like get to like the game's limit for position. Like
Yeah.
I tried once, pretty funny.
Yeah, it takes a while.
Yeah. So yeah, now we finally got the chunks, and now we're gonna get more chunks from Drangleic Castle. And yeah, Drangleic Castle, because we can just go there right now. Because we don't need to get all the souls or the old souls bosses or farm for 1 million souls. We can just skip the Shrine of Winter. And yeah, this is one of the segments I like the least in this category because like you do nothing for like 10
Yeah.
minutes, just run to Drangleic Castle. There's really not much going on. There's like one skip. Well, there's technically another skip you can do to get inside Drangleic Castle faster, but that one is like really, really precise.
Yep.
So I haven't implemented yet. Maybe I will implement it in the future. I kind of doubt it because it's like 40 minutes in. There's like a lot of hot stuff before you get to that skip and a lot of stuff after that skip. So
Yeah, there's a decent amount of risk involved with the end, especially if you want to do it the actual fastest. It's pretty risky to go for. So it's something we usually reserve for the any percent categories.
yep.
And yeah, also in any percent, you don't have to go beyond the gate, which is way simpler than actually going to the inside of Drangleic Castle, which you need to do for Mirror Knight and the other bosses.
Yeah. All bosses technically has these skips that are like that could save like potentially a decent amount of time, but
Yeah.
realistically, you're never gonna go for for those because the category is so long.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, you can actually reset to a lot of things in this. Like, even though it's really long, runners actually reset to like really small stuff.
Yeah. Like at a point when you run enough, you'll start getting, you know your capacity, and you'll reset to what feels like a really bad start, even though there's so much more left to save in the run. But it's a long commitment as well, going for like 2+ hours on a run, just with the expectation that you can save enough time later on. So there's a balance there between like how much you accept before a reset as well.
Yeah, this skip you actually see in any percent. It's actually a bit difficult here because the timer can run out. So you need to actually like if you stam out, you can't do the skip.
Yeah, especially
It's
with, like,
actually
the
a lot
angle you do
tighter.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to make it easy on yourself, you can angle the enemy so that you jump in the right direction, like towards where you want to go. That gives you like a couple more seconds maybe. But it is very tight.
Yeah, conveniently, we have 3 chunks and a tablet here. I thank the devs for pulling it at such a convenient spot.
Yep.
And yeah. Now we're gonna open Drangleic Castle, but we're not gonna do anything in Drangleic Castle because we're gonna instead just get a bonfire and get our +10 and complete a bunch of other stuff. Okay, interesting AI from this guy.
Yeah.
So yeah, this gate is it's kind of scary because these 2 elephants actually follow you. So you need to be fast enough, and sometimes it's impossible because the enemies just don't cooperate. Because if you're too far away from the statues, it doesn't actually like trigger the trigger the statues because you need to kill the enemies near enough so that the statues activate and you can actually go through this gate. And yeah, the skip we were talking about earlier was to just skip this gate and get straight to the bonfire.
Yeah, the way that works is you basically go just barely over the King's Gate from the back, but it's pretty precise. And funnily enough, it's even worse on old patch because the collision there is super wonky. So me and Nubis both managed to do it once on our first attempt and never replicated it.
Yeah.
It's just super wonky.
Oh. Yeah. This enemy is super fast, so had to kill him to use the bonfire. So yeah, here I'm going to use some attunement glitch. So when you attune a glitch during the loading screen on top of another, the amount of uses gets stored on the spells you already have equipped. So this is actually a pretty big time save in this run.
Yeah. It's very good, especially like even if you have a spell that normally would have maybe one use, like Forbidden Sun or something, you can put that onto SoulsSpeedruns and suddenly you have 30 or more, depending on how much attunement you have. So it's a huge difference. And it seems to be like this way because apparently the game sets the spell count before the actual spell. So
yeah, so
it doesn't break until you quit the game, so you can use it. You can keep it between warps.
Yeah, as you can see, I have 2 homewoods, even though homeward is normally like 1. Would normally be a 1 attunement at this point. It got the like the usages from Solar Peas. And
Yeah,
the reason why I did it now, even though I don't need homeward, is because I'm actually going to have to attune glitch Dark Weapon as well later on.
Yeah, and Homeward Bones, etc. They don't actually refresh your items or your health or anything or spell casts. So having multiple uses of that means you don't have to rest in between the Homeward for longer segments.
So yeah, one really intriguing thing is we're not going to do goggles now. We don't even need this bonfire. I'm just taking it for safety. But we don't do goggles now because this is a skip you can do from a different bonfire that I took earlier. It is actually faster than going through the whole like Belfry Luna area. And now we're just gonna head straight to Sinner. So yeah, there's a moon jump you can do here, but yeah, it's basically as fast as just drop down. And this is going to be like a long series, not a long series, but a series of like ladder abuses. Here, so I'm just going to power with this guy. So because I'm too low, I'm going to use this ladder here, just so I can get to another ladder. And using this other ladder, we're going to head to Center. Okay. So the positioning here has to be precise because there's a bunch of like death lanes. And if you're not positioned correctly, the game will instantly like kill you if you hit those. But yeah, that was I got the right spot here. So now we have to land on this stupidly small platform, and you can jump midair of this glitch. The skirt.
Yeah, it makes no sense. So good. There's absolutely no floor there, but for some reason you're allowed to walk for like a second before the game registers. Oh, there's no floor here. So just enough time to do a jump.
And now, yeah, you've seen it on Sentinels, but yeah, plus 10 Dark Rapier is
it's so good.
Insane. Oh, what's insane is the RNG I'm getting right now.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, this boss, yeah. You don't have many stamina regen, so if you just greed one hit, you just lose so much time here. So, yeah, now that's another primal, and primals you can use to go back to Medulla, like this. And we're gonna go back to Medulla to get more bright bugs, because like when you kill an old boss, one of the old souls, there's 4 of them, it actually gets refilled. So, like this. And now we can also buy the radiance the Radiant Life Gems, which are pretty good healing items. And I'm going to do something a bit weird that you would not see in Restricted. I'm going to go to Gulch. And so the reason for that is because I want to kill the giants. Yeah. Because we want to get as many giant souls as we can before Vendrick. Okay, that's one. Okay. Oh, that's you call. I was trying to use the binos on Homewood. Interesting. Yeah, so the giants have completely broken hitboxes. That's why I stand at these like weird spots. Like this boss, not this boss, but these enemies are really, really bad in this game. They completely broken hitboxes. And yeah, we're just gonna talk to this NPC called Grandel. He has this covenant that you need to join in order to get to the dungeons. And you need to complete the dungeons to get to Dark Lurker, which is a boss in this game. Now I'm gonna head to... I messed up the inventory. Okay, it's fine. I can just fix it. So... There we go. Yeah, so Dark Rapier is actually pretty fast for this segment, and this segment has the Chlorophyll Ring, which is a pretty big deal in this run. Chlorophyll Ring gives you like a massive stamina regen, and stamina regen DS2 is really, really bad. So just having this ring is going to make some strats actually possible, and just save a lot of time on running sections overall, really. So yeah, I need to go back to Shadewoods later, so I'm just going to grab this bonfire. And I'm going to do another moon jump. Nice. This one's a bit awkward because you can just bonk against the ceiling. So you need to jump through the window. So there's a lot of runs that just die here. Or, yeah, not necessarily die, but yeah, you can lose a bunch of time. And yeah, this is one of the bosses that gets like destroyed by +10 Dark Rapier. I'm really sorry for Nashka. And just wait for the counter window, and she's dead. Yeah. So yeah, the next area is like Pharos. There's an option boss called the Authority, the Rat Authority. Notably very bad casualty, but we have a cool strat for it, and there's also a skip to get to him like super quickly. But that one is a bit difficult, so hope I get it. So you just power up this guy, and we're just gonna do some totally not cheating by toggling here, and the game just gonna like make the character climb over this thing. And then you just boom jump here, and that's it. This overall just saves a lot of time. It's basically like 20 seconds because you don't have to run. You don't have to do all the stuff in the water and just run around the area. So you just shoot a rat here. These little rats are really annoying. Then you cast Solar Peas, and they're dead. Yeah. Then all you have to do is fight the boss. Nice. So... Yeah, one thing I didn't mention really, but you probably realized is there's a lot of menuing in this run. So all bosses you have all the ring management. You need some rings to survive full damage. You need some rings for damage. You need some rings for souls. Like after each fight, basically, I switch to the Kavita's Silver Serpent Ring. And I also equip the set, and then I unequip the set, and then sometimes I have to equip the skirt. So yeah, this is probably like the most like intensive category for like menuing. And yeah, well, so yeah, basically yeah, I was mentioning earlier, but this entire thing you can obviously skip with parry walk. But yeah, this is all bosses, so we have to fight the bosses. So just go the normal way here, just to fight Congregation. And Congregation is kind of the same thing as Authority. We're just going to use Solar Piece to get like all the enemies out the way. And I'm probably going to grab a safety bonfire after Congregation. So I just realized I didn't take the one before Authority or the one before Congregation, which is really bad. It's a really bad thing to not take safety bonfires in marathon runs. I don't recommend. So you just set up damage here on these two guys. Now hopefully they let you... Yeah, they let you cast this without getting interrupted, and that's it. Most of the enemies die, and for some reason these guys don't get any damage from Solar Piece, so you just need to finish them off. There we go.
Yeah, Soul Piece can have some weird effects on like which enemies it hits. Those are like consistently like pretty much not hit though. But even in the rats fight, where they should all be hit, but in the vicinity, sometimes some of them just walk straight through it. So good to have more than one cast if you're reliant on it for a boss fight.
Yeah, Solar Piece is weird because the item description says it deals damage against undead enemies, but a lot of undead enemies don't take any damage from it.
Yeah.
Like skeletons, for example, don't take any damage from Solar Piece. So yeah, this is one of the spells that got like routed pretty late in all bosses historically. Just because like you need to spend like 19 points in faith. That's like a lot of levels just for one spell. Yeah. So yeah, this is the last of the Old Souls bosses, Freya. There's this consistent script for this boss. Well, I get good RNG from the little spiders. Rip consistent skip. Well, I have a backup, so just need Freya to attack. And oof. This is really interesting. I never got this before. I never saw the beam from up close. Normally you would have to like run away to beat it, but okay.
Yeah.
I guess that worked. Yeah, getting just hitting this boss in general is so bad. Like
yeah, especially with the rapier and from the side, it's very easy to just bonk.
One hard thing with these rapier routes is that some bosses are just really bad to hit because the hitboxes are so small. Like the rapier has a pretty small hitbox overall, so you have to do like a lot of maneuver and precise movement just to get in the right spots. And Freya, fortunately, yeah, you just miss one hit and the fight just goes bad. So now I'm gonna go to another boss, another rat boss. It's the Royal Rat Vanguard, which we call mini rats because obviously there's a big rat and then there's the mini rats. And this one actually has a nice skip that I still haven't done in like a PB attempt. I'm going to try to do it. It's actually a bit concerning. No, for the
Okay.
this. Nice. So yeah.
Oh right, this one, yeah. Nice.
This moon jump's really bad. Like you have to do like a weird angle to force your character to land. Oh. And yeah, that was
Solo piece actually worked this time. Very good.
nice. Yeah, and timing the first solar piece cast is actually a lot harder in this because yeah, you would normally just like enter the fight and then time it with the music or just run straight and then wait a bit. But here you like land in a weird spot. Like every time it's kind of different, so you have to like kind of guess it. So sometimes I just end up getting killed by the rats, which is really stupid. So yeah, more on the like broken order of splits. So normally you would after the All Souls you would see me go to Drungley Castle. But yeah, as I said, I need the giant souls for Vendrick. So now I'm just gonna go to Ancient Dragon because Ancient Dragon drops a giant soul. And because we don't have the King's Ring that you would normally get after Velstadt, I need to do this skip. Which is a tiny bit precise. Because
Yeah,
these collisions I'm walking around are pretty thin.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a very satisfying skip once you get it down, though. It was sort of my saving grace back when we did the branch skip purgatory routes. At least when we got here, past branch skip could do the audio skip. That was feels good, man.
That category, any person can patch unrestricted, is what motivated me to do branch skip in this in all bosses because I got pretty good at branch skip. Not branch skip, but I'll just skip. So I routed it in. But yeah, the two annoying things is you compared to like doing Vendrick later, it's like you have to do these early giants with like no HP, no stamina. That's like the worst part, and you have to do this skip, which just makes the run so much harder. Like, you don't want to do like these kind of skips like an hour in usually.
yeah, for sure.
And yeah, we got the RTSR from this area. RTSR Red Tearstone Blade. When you're below 20% HP, you get roughly, I don't remember how much damage you get, but it's just a tiny bit extra damage. It's really bad compared to like Dark Souls 1 or Demon Souls, but it does save quite a bit of time on a few boss fights in this category.
Yeah, but it's also 20%, I'm pretty sure. Same as Brightburg. But yeah, much more risk attached to it than that.
So yeah, Gorgon Dragon gets absolutely melted because he's weak to dark, and we just deal dark damage, just deal so much dark damage, you know. And on top of that, RTSR, so he has like no chance. Just using the elevator here to use all the souls, because we're actually going to spend all these souls later on levels. Levels are mainly going to be used to be able to use another weapon, the Red Arm and Twin Blades that I'm going to get once we get to Amana. And also the levels are going to get us more stamina and more HP, and the HP is going to be used to simultaneously just be able to set up RTSR in some places, but also just be able to tank a lot of damage, because trading is actually faster on a lot of late game bosses.
Yeah, and the Rapier is still like a good enough end game weapon that some bosses is also not like up to preference for individual runners what they like to use, because the difference, if you get a really good fight, like one weapon will be a few seconds faster than the other, but on some bosses there are some very good setups with the Red Iron Twin Blade, especially like Alana and Sin for DLC 1.
Yeah,
are a lot better with and Gang Swat, so entirety of DLC 1 basically is much better with Twin Blade.
Yeah, right there. You saw me use the zip line after doing a moon jump. This is actually a really decent time save.
Yeah.
In this moon jump here. This is like one of the skips that was found much later because moon jump was only found in 2023, early 2023, and it took me a while to really start implementing them in all bosses. And before that, we only had parry walk, so the run with parry walk only is actually quite different.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised.
Yeah, this area normally doesn't have any enemy you can parry walk, so having the skirt to the moon jumps as well opens the area a lot more.
Okay, I got hit. Unlucky. One thing that is really bad is we start Bandits, and Bandit doesn't have a lot of ADP. And ADP determines a stat called Agility, which determines your amount of iframes on rolls. So there's a lot of stuff you're gonna see me just fail to roll because like just have like, oh no, oh no, what is he doing? Is he gonna leave or not? I don't even know. Okay, it's just normally doesn't happen with these guys. So yeah, here you can just set up Artisar by taking one hit from this guy. It just takes so much damage. Yeah. Oh, great RNG. Yeah, you don't want him to fly up. Yep. The other day I lost like 40 seconds to him because he flew up like 4 times or something.
Yeah, I get that sometimes. Old Pack 2 which is so bad because you have even more damage in this problem. Ah, it's actually pretty close.
Okay. And yeah, this guy drops a lot of souls, and he drops the Ashen Mist Heart, which you need to get to access a few areas in this run, like Giant Lord Memory, and yeah, and the Solon Memory, which both have bosses.
Yep.
And he drops a Giant Soul, which we need to Vendrick. And I'm gonna get another Giant Soul right here on the Memory. So yeah, I'm gonna attempt to do the Artisar setup. If I die, because this segment's very inconsistent, I'll just not do Artisar.
Yeah, so Giant Souls are to reduce the amount of defense Vendor casts. It starts with a baseline of 32 times the damage reduction, and every Giant Soul will half that, down to the maximum of 5 Giant Souls.
Yeah, these Giants are notoriously bad. You have giant hitboxes. And yeah. Okay, there we go. And this attack also has a really weird hitbox.
Yeah.
Okay, oh, he's dead.
Do not go in between sleds when he does the stab. However tempting it may seem to slip past there, you will regret it.
So yeah, Giant Lord is not very lucky in this. He gets destroyed. So now that we got all of the Giant Souls, we can go to Drongate Castle, and yeah. Okay. So we're just gonna do a start weapon here to kill some enemies. Let's see if I can remember the menuing. So same thing as the Drongate Gate, you need to kill some enemies near this door so they open. We just have to open these 2 doors because this one has Grandal, one of his 3 locations. And you need to talk to him in all 3 locations before you can access his Covenant.
Yeah, so the reason we have the separation between unrestricted and restricted, rather than glitchless and sort of unrestricted, is that It's mainly like a few really broken glitches that affect the routing of the game, while others are very minor and like not super, don't really change much, just comfort things. So for unrestricted, that would be parry walking, it's the big one. FPS toggling, which affects some jumps, especially. Allows you to climb walls, etc., that otherwise wouldn't work. And we have the newest addition, which is moon jumping, which also allows you to do further jumps and sometimes higher jumps than otherwise possible. So they are reserved to their own section of the category.
Yeah, there was never a big interest in glitches DS2 because current patch DS2 was in a state where there was like not many big glitches at all, so people didn't really mind doing like the minor stuff.
Yeah, the difference between like a glitched route at that point and glitchless would be so minor that it seemed like a very unnecessary separation. But people still like that kind of route, even though with small glitches here and there, so kept those around.
Okay. So now I'm not gonna go in Jungle Castle at all. Oh, I forgot to equip the gloves, it's fine.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
like
instead just
1% or
skip.
something, not too much.
Yeah. I'm just gonna skip everything. Just kill Dragon Riders and skip the entirety of it. So yeah, just go around this because it's all open, really. Like right there, you can see Nashandra just sitting down. Oh, you can't see her anymore. She's gone. But yeah, you can see her throne. And you can just go inside this thing. Yeah, you need a lot of souls, but it's not that bad if you like miss one piece of armor. I'm just gonna drop down like here, so I can grab some extra skulls. And there we go. You don't need to do all the like stuff with the elevator. In Drunken Castle, there's like a long section where you need to activate an elevator, then go up the elevator, get a key. And we just skip all of that. It's like this skip alone is like one of the bigger time save in this run overall. So yeah, this guy has like pretty consistent setup for damage. You can just manipulate everything he does. And that's it. Yeah, nice. I got the auto finish.
Nice.
Oh yeah, I need to pop some souls. So yeah, the next area is pretty famous in current patch speedruns because it's like it's just so loaded with enemies everywhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna do a little bit of what you would call teaching. You're gonna see. There's a neat little thing you can do with parry walk to make the area a bit simpler. So yeah, another thing the skirt does that I did mention is it reduces full damage. So there's a few instances where it's actually faster to just equip it to cancel some full damage. You are actually meant to do it like right near the other game, but I never really implemented the menuing because it's just really annoying to do. Doesn't save as much time. Okay. So instead of just going through the area normally, we're just gonna kill this enemy right here, and you're gonna do a parry walk. So yeah, if you don't kill this enemy, you can't do the parry walk. The soul arrow, like the homing soul arrows here, just constantly stagger you, so it wouldn't be viable. So I'm just gonna use force to move out of the way because I want to have a little more height, and then. Nice. So hopefully I got the right amount of height. I'm not sure I got it though.
Yeah, I was a bit far to the left, but maybe.
Yeah, because if I
So
don't...
this is also one of the areas where
I
it's sort
did
of separated
not.
into... Ooh,
Oh no, well. It's still possible. I haven't done this in ages, so...
It's a lot scarier now, but...
I'm not supposed to be in this direction, so it's
yeah.
gonna be funny.
So yeah, I'm
Oh,
out of one of those areas which is separated into a lot of smaller parts. So by going into this middle part, if you're too low, you load in. What Fujo wanted here was be slightly higher, so you can just walk right over this without triggering the enemy.
yeah, you just unload everything. You just, like, get everything unloaded and it's much better, but yeah. I don't know how I'm gonna do this. If I die, it's fine. I have the bonfire.
Yeah, at least you're not going back to Dragon Lake. That would be very rough.
Just many of the, like, really small things that can completely kill your runs, yeah. Well, yeah, I'm just gonna die, it's fine. Yeah, it's basically very hard to save.
Yeah.
It's like my firewall just broke in the spot, and yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately now you there's a lot of souls. I guess you still want to pick up.
Yeah, I don't know where they are. If I
They
can't
should
get them
be
back,
pretty
I
close
will
to the
load a
turret.
save file,
I think you
so it's
might be
fine.
able to pick them up and stay behind them. So if you don't sprint after picking them up and not wear
Nice.
the skirt when you're there, I think you might be fine.
Yeah, I tried to heal because I thought this was Scholar. And Scholar's
I also
healing there
forgot
is
about
safe.
that guy, I'm not gonna lie.
And yeah, I don't like this.
No, this is a weird story.
Okay, I'm gonna load a save file. Nice.
Ah, it's unfortunate.
Nice. Just a cascade of just dumb mistakes. Like, wow.
Yeah,
Just
very
like,
unfortunate. The run was so clean up until this point, but those souls are unfortunately pretty important when you have no dupes or anything. Even with dupes, that would have been like 40 dupes to get back those souls. So
yeah, so I have save files for everything. So it's fine.
and that's all it takes. Like just slightly, the whole difference here was like I don't know, 10 pixels lower on the jump, and
Yeah,
just
just a
unfolds into
few.
a huge
It was
issue
just a
in a
few
moment.
units lower. It's really stupid, like how it didn't work. But yeah, with the power of cheating, we have those souls back.
Yeah.
I haven't missed that parrywalk in a mine like forever. It's literally the stuff that happens in marathons where
Yeah,
like
I
you...
remember exactly because sometimes it's very rare, but even in old patch where you have like all the time in the world to set up the angle you want to jump at, sometimes you still just get slightly too low. Bit annoying,
Yeah,
but
the
it's
worst
easy
part
to
is I
discover in
was
old patch.
trying to do an easier strat, and it made it the entire thing harder. There's some irony in there.
Yeah.
Also, one bad thing when you load a save file is you don't have the attunement glitch anymore.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to reset bonfires, which is gonna like lose me a lot of time. So yeah,
That's
I'll
also
try
the thing that
to get her in a better spot, maybe. Yeah, this looks
not
better.
only do you lose the attunement glitch, like quote unquote, but it actually switches to the spell you applied the attunement glitch to. So even if you're just trying to make save files, you have to plan ahead for that and tune the correct spells you want to use with a lower count.
So yeah,
Which just makes it really annoying to make save files in routes that are heavily rely on attunement glitch.
so right there I got the correct height. So as you can see, nothing's loaded.
Yeah.
And the soul arrows deal no damage, because while you're in Parrywalk, you have reduced damage, because, you know, Parrywalk's not broken enough, right? Yeah. And there we go. You're just getting past these guys. Very smooth. It's a shame that you didn't get it first try. So yeah, this part is a little bit tricky, because we want to grab this item in the middle, which is the Red Iron Twin Blades. It's a really good weapon that we're going to be using a bunch in late game. Yeah. Don't want it to take too much damage from the arrows. Oh. It's fine. But yeah, second try mana was a lot better. Nice. I'll have to think about tuning my spells properly again after I get past Vendrick. Nice. So Demon of Song has like a bunch of possible RNGs. One of them I literally can't roll. So I will take damage every time. That's why I don't want to be like too low on HP here. And yeah, the rest is scripted. You just do like 3 R1s and the fight is over. The punishes are a bit tight though, so it's definitely like doing this strat I do. It's definitely not something you do right away when you run all bosses. So yeah, now we get to Crypt, and yeah, Crypt has... Yeah, Crypt is going to be a bit special, because I'm going to use RTSR here, because I got it. I got it like before Quadrant Dragon, so I'm going to attempt to like set it up here. I haven't really came up with a good, like, consistent RTSR setup in this category. Like, I just tried to like take a bunch of damage from different sources. Right there, I got it perfectly, but the amount of HP you have outside of a mana is basically random. It's very hard to like not take any damage at all.
Yeah.
And setting RTSR from full HP, because you could just be full HP, is like very awkward to do here. So here I'm just gonna exhaust. Oof, nice camera. I'm just gonna exhaust the dialogue from Aldia. I'm gonna take the bonfire. He's blocking. There we go. Oh, okay. Well, I messed up because I need at least 2 casts of Dark Weapon, so Rip Marty's are set up.
Yeah.
I don't have anything to get spells back, so unlucky. And this is the reason why I shouldn't glitch Dark Weapons, because you need so many users of Dark Weapon, a lot more than 4 in this segment, so... Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, like one of the only places where you could pick up a spell restore for free. Normally you wouldn't use them because of the tuning glitch, but the only one I can think of that's basically otherwise free. It's not free in this category because that's in Aldia's Keep, where you use the Ogre to set up RTSR. But,
yeah. It's like you could also get the herbs from Melancha.
Yeah, from Melancha, if you have enough, you probably don't have enough souls the first time, but maybe the second time when you get the bite bugs, could afford 1 or 2.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm just gonna use this guy. He doesn't deal too much damage, so it's really good to set up Balthasar. And yeah, this is one of the scariest parts of the run overall, because Balthasar. And yeah, you have to do this fog wall. So
yeah.
I can tell you that my heart rate is a bit too high when I get here on PB pace. It's like an hour 20 in something, like, yeah.
And when the heart rate matches the
messing
soul
it
count.
up. Yeah. Okay, that was a bit bad. Hopefully I'm still gonna get it. Nice. So we're kind of abusing the height there. To not get hits. Nice. Well, you don't want him to jump it, yeah. Velsha is extremely resistant to dark damage, so he could die a lot faster if we had like a lightning build, something, but yeah. It's still really, really fast because of all the different buffs we have.
Yeah.
Physical ones, I mean. So yeah, all good
for
friend
be a lot
Vendrick.
slower without RTSR as well, because as soon as he's buffed, he takes half the damage from everything. So
Okay. I only have like 2 giant souls. What is this save file? Oh no, I'm gonna have to cheat 1 in. Dude, I don't like this situation. Oh no.
Unfortunate.
I don't even know if my soul counts right.
It's pretty close to what you had. I'm not sure it's exactly right. Might have been like 10-20k off.
We'll see. We'll see. I'll try to... Okay. hopefully I'm still gonna be able to deal the damage on this guy.
Hopefully the bright wiggle lasts. No, probably not.
No, I don't get the damage. Okay, so I'm gonna do something I really like is to load save files. Because I think I have a save file with the right amount of souls here. Sorry, this is so chaotic, but I wouldn't lose like so much time just running back. Like I don't have the time to just yeah.
Yeah, like two souls here compared to what, 4? Normal one? I
3.
guess. Oh, okay,
You
3.
get
Yeah,
3.
it still takes twice as long to kill him. It's
Yeah,
really
I don't. I didn't think my save file for mana had this problem. Yeah, now I get to do this again. It's really cool. So yeah, all this. Yeah, I already lost like about 5 minutes. Yeah, it's gonna be even more. It's probably gonna be like 7 minutes behind just from all these time losses in the mana in here.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Still doing good though. It's not very many mistakes overall. Like it's just a spiral from that one.
It's just kind of unfortunate they have to cheat. I don't like cheating marathon runs.
I know the feeling, for sure.
But like I can't just afford to waste 10 minutes like
Yeah.
Because yeah, there's a lot of like possible time losses in late game as well, so I still want to end below estimate, you know.
Yeah, and there are some pretty hard parts coming up later on as well, that and a lot of RNG involved in some of the fights, so
Yeah.
definitely want to leave some room for the rest of
So
the
yeah, there's a total of 5 souls you're meant to get to fight this guy. You can do it with like any amount of souls, but yeah, the less souls you have, the less damage you deal. So 3 is not a lot, and even though we have all these buffs, he doesn't take a lot of damage.
even with 3, he has 4 times the defense he would at 5 souls, so it's pretty significant.
So yeah, doing such a long fight of Altisar, it's pretty like annoying. Especially because he has these moves where he just jumps away. So yeah. There we go, just grabbing the King's Ring.
Nice.
Okay. So that's about it for all the like main game stuff we do.
Yep.
Now we're gonna head to like more optional and like DLC stuff. So you might recognize this area. This is the Few Nights Arena, and I haven't used any of the smelter wedges that you would use to destroy these statues. Because these statues heal Fume, so we're gonna want to avoid him to heal. So we're gonna want to kill him like as fast as possible and want him to avoid like touching these statues on the sides. So this is like one of the higher like more difficult fights in this run.
Yeah.
Okay.
And some very wonky hitboxes at times as well.
You can abuse them for strafes, but yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
Oof.
That is not very nice what he's doing right now.
No, it's scary.
Okay. Only one heal, it
Yeah.
could have been a lot worse, and I failed all my strafes. Yeah.
Yeah, especially at stab. If you try to roll that on the right side, you'd be surprised how tricky that can be at times. So a strafe is good.
So yeah, now that we got all the giant souls legitimately, we can use them. Because yeah, they drop like 30,000 souls, pretty good. So yeah, we didn't activate anything in DLC2, no elevators, no scepters, no keys, but we can still complete everything just with parry walks. So very conveniently, this guy is at the right height, so we can actually do a skip to Blue Smelter's area. So I'm just gonna grab this bonfire here. So yeah, it's pretty broken bonfire animation. I love these with parry walks.
Yeah.
And we're just going to use this wall, just run into it, and it's going to break parry walk eventually. Nice. And yeah, this is like one of the worst areas of the game casually, in my opinion. Like, it's just enemy spam, and then a boss that's just a reskin of a base game boss. So yeah, I'm not a huge fan of this.
Yeah, a little bit of a last minute addition maybe.
Yeah. Nice. You can really feel the lack of ADP on that roll.
That's brutal.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, the buff actually has this nice little AoE here to kill casual players. Everybody gets hit by this at some point.
Yeah, which is a nice little touch there because the normal smelter does not do that.
Okay. Definitely not scary. Yeah. You'd get hit once and it's basically over. This fight is like so scary. Like this guy hits so hard compared to even like other DLC bosses. Yeah, I also wanted to tune glitch onward. So yeah, now we're gonna head to a lawn, which is it's one of my favorite skips in the run. So you just drop here. Nice. And you just moon jump over this, and there we go. This skips so much time. Saves, sorry. Yeah, like there's so much you need to do like normally to get to this area.
Yeah, waiting for
and
elevators and
just being able to do one moon jump from this bonfire. Oh, nice enemy. Just being able to moon jump from here is so cool. Oh, yeah. I'm not exactly sure about my bright book count. I'll probably have to get like some extra ones in DLC 3.
Yep.
Okay. This is one of the worst areas to run through. Oh, look at this. Oh no! The jinx! I jinxed myself. Oh no, and now I can't remember where it is. Oh no. Okay, you know what? We're just gonna chill. I'm just gonna walk out. Unrestricted is basically glitches allowed, yeah. Now, not only is the pathing like super annoying to remember here, there's like many enemies at aggro, so I'm just gonna retry.
Yeah. Like even if you get out there, the risk that they just annoy you by default get after, I guess, is.
This is like one of the most frustrating mistakes to make, and you could see that dude just hover above the hole right there. It makes like no sense how he's allowed to hit you. Okay. Okay, so this time surely. Nice. Yeah, I definitely have to take this a bit wider for safety. Nice. So yeah, Sirlon. This guy is one of my favorite bosses in this entire run. He has like a ton of cool strafes you can do.
Yeah,
Oh no,
so
rip
as much as
hitless.
yeah, as much as we'd like to see the hitless on this fight, it's not always that fast.
Yeah, I
sometimes
failed the
you might
strafe.
want
I
to
could
play
have
with
gone
it.
and it's... And yeah, this thing is so bad to roll. Like, it doesn't lose time if you miss the roll, but you still
Yeah.
get hit. It's so annoying. That wasn't too bad. Okay. Yeah. And this DLC 2 was a huge struggle. DLC 2 is one of the hardest segments, so I'm not surprised I did so many mistakes, but yeah. Yeah, it's not over. We still have 30 minutes of run to go.
Yeah, at least survive the boss fights. They can go bad pretty quick, especially if Human and Smelter. But also if you get hit by the grab attack on alone, if you're extremely unlucky, then yeah, it's pretty bad. And the long like dash attack does a lot of damage.
Yeah. So I got the last bright bugs for this run. I'm probably missing some, but I will get some in another place. Now I'm gonna get some. Finally, I'm gonna level up ADP, and
Let's go.
I might. No, I'm not missing any souls. Let's go.
3 ADP to 16 is a massive difference. So it's,
Yeah. So yeah, we got the red on twin blade and some great materials, so we're just gonna upgrade it now, like this. And we got the lightning upgrade, because lightning is actually faster for the remaining bosses. So yeah, this is another boss that you just delay for later because it's much faster to do with the twin blades.
Yep.
And hopefully this skip works. Oh yeah, I don't need to unequip the skip here actually. Nice. The reason I do this skip is because otherwise the enemies would just be so annoying. It would prevent me from entering his boss fight. Okay, nice. We got this strat. My PB doesn't even have this strat, so clearly this run is much superior. Okay, perfect. Nice. So yeah, while you parry walk, you just fight Chariot here, which is like just busted because you have the damage resistance, and you can just go through things. So you just stay inside the boss, And that's it. That's enough. Yeah, one combo is enough to kill Chariot. So yeah, so here's another boss that I think is really cool. Yeah, this entire area is pretty stressful because there's these statues that deal petrification damage. So it's a status ailment that just builds up, and when it reaches the full bar, not only you die, you take a lot of hollowing.
Yeah.
Your max HP gets massively reduced.
Yeah,
So I didn't get hit too many times.
Similar to the curse in Dark Souls 1 in that regard. Whereas curse in this game only does like one tick of following, similar to death. But without killing you immediately.
Oh no. So yeah, when you get hit by the petrification during a roll, you don't get staggered, so that's why you can see me spam rolls. But it still builds up, so you have to be careful. So this boss is, how can I describe? Well, I think the fight speaks for itself. There's no strat.
Just watch.
I got bleed. It's really bad. Yeah, and this guy's just using me as a target practice, and he's just running away. Nice. Yeah, AI for these guys is unpredictable. Like, it's extremely chaotic. You can see people lose like a minute here or something.
Yeah, even if you were to take your time there and only attack when he approaches you, he can still just roll immediately as you hit R1. So honestly, just spamming there is not much different.
Yeah, so we're just gonna shoot this guy to bait him here. So we're gonna want to do a skip. And he's taking his sweet time. So yeah. Here we don't need to get any of the keys whatsoever. You just do this skip and you're right inside the final area of the DLC for Ilana and Sin. So we can actually do some binary cancelling here. It's one of the coolest parts of the run in terms of movements. And yeah, all of that helped me set up Artista just from the full damage. And yeah, you're gonna see what the fight looks like here. It's it's something. So yeah, while she finishes the dialogue, you attack. Then she does one attack, all of her attacks are slow, and she just dies. So, yeah, really difficult. Which is funny, because the next fight is has the most precise strat in the entire run. Sin is... Sin has a really cool strat, it's just very, very hard to pull off, I find. Yeah, we'll never know if I got the pigs or the skeletons. It's like reasonable chance you get pigs instead of skeletons in that fight. Well, it's kind of over because I didn't hit the tail. It's fine though. Okay, another flight. I see how it is. Okay. Yeah, I didn't quite manage to... Like, there's a strat where you just one-cycle him. You just attack the side, go under him, cut the tail. But yeah, I had to do a backup there. So now that we're done with the first DLC and the second DLC, we still have the third DLC to go, which is not very, I wouldn't call it easy.
No. I mean, there's one part of that DLC that's a little bit above the rest in difficulty, but that doesn't mean the rest is easy by any stretch.
Yeah. So yeah, we never had to open Shrine of Winter, so this is actually the only time you open it or go through it in the run. Because the entrance to the third DLC is right here. So yeah, there's a gimmick on the next boss where you have to get an item to make the boss visible. You have to get an item called the Eyes of a Priestess in a different part of the DLC. But because we are speedrunners and we like to go fast, we're just gonna do the most sensible thing and fight the boss without that item, because it's technically possible. So this is like, yeah, it's one of the fights that just make like beginner runners go crazy, because they learn the entire run and realize this boss is just invisible.
Yeah.
So you have to know the moveset very well, and be able to like predict what the AI does.
Yeah, definitely.
And you're on a timer. Yeah. You're on a timer because of the healing and the bright bug, so you can't take like forever to fight him.
Yeah, so definitely if you're learning this route and don't have much experience with Ava in the first place, visible, do that first. You rely a lot on the sound cues to know which attack is coming out.
Okay, that's really bad.
But and I'll be quiet now to not distract Fujo.
Yeah, so Ava likes to do range attacks on melee, which is nonsensical. The AI is not supposed to do that. That's why I'm taking damage. And that's a grab. Nice. Didn't manage to roll it. It's fine. Of course, she just runs away. Okay, that was a bit scary because these little projectiles actually can actually still damage you after the boss is dead. So there was a chance I would have just died. So I had no HP. Yeah. So you could see how chaotic Ava is. The boss just jumps around. You can't see. You miss the cues. It's just horrible.
But yeah, got through.
So yeah, the next boss is pretty good boss. Casually, I really like Burnt Harry King. But yeah, another gimmick for this boss is you need to get some knights to help you clear the area, help you fight the enemies and close the portals that spawn enemies. And again, because we're speedrunners and we do like things the hardest ways possible, we just gonna ignore that and do the entire thing with one night. Yep. So that's gonna be interesting. So the way that
such a different fight with or without those knights, like it's
yeah.
If you haven't tried without knights, yeah, you probably don't realize
so
how
the
bad
way this sort of is, you just need to fight like a fixed amount of knights. Kind of there's a glitch where you have to fight less knights, but you have to fight all the knights before the Burnt Harry Key spawns. So I have to kill these guys as like fast as I can. So yeah, here you just need to kill like 2 of them and the next wave spawns. And there's only like 3 waves, so yeah. What I kind of want to do is, as the 3rd wave ends, I want to like set up my HP to be like relatively low, so I can stack a bunch of healing items for the Burnt Ivy King fights. So the best strat for Burnt Ivy King is just to trade as much as possible. Okay. Okay, this is pretty good HP, yeah. So you're gonna see me switch to Rapier. Rapier is actually a lot better for this fight. It's much more flexible. And yeah, just deal some crazy counter damage.
Yeah, Ivory King has a lot of like moves. You can jump back pretty far, etc. You're not that likely to have him locked in one spot, so Red Iron Twin Blade will, like, if you had the perfect fight, yeah, Sherlock might be a bit faster, but it's you're not very much in control at that point.
Nice. Okay, so this is really bad, so I'm gonna like just have to fall back because this guy just aggroed and I couldn't deal a lot of damage. This is one of the like more RNG heavy fights. And this guy's just harassing me, like the knights on the side, which is pretty bad. So I'm just trying to 1v1 Burnt Ivy King. Oh. Okay, that was bad, but yeah, things are kind of out of my control. If he just jumps away, I can't deal damage. The enemies aggro, it's like, just like that. All bosses is a pro run.
Yeah, well played.
How do the hitless runners do this boss? They just get the knights, I think.
Yeah.
Even then, it's still a pretty, it's pretty terrible
it's still difficult
hitless.
regardless, but
yeah, I don't think any hitless runners, any hitless
they
runner
would never
does this
go
with
in
one
without
knight.
the knights. No, absolutely no way.
Maybe some of them do, but I don't think that's very smart. Okay, I want this guy to go near this door, and I'm gonna do a neat little skip to go to Twin Pets, which is near, a bit deep in the DLC. Have to get a key, open a bunch of doors, but if you just a power walk on the side, you don't have to do all that. And I'm gonna do a safety strat. Normally you could just go in this area of the door right there, but because I'm probably missing some bright bugs and I want the extra bright bugs anyways, I'm just gonna like wait here. And yeah, my Parog's gonna break and I'll be able to get some bright bugs. If I remember correctly, there's an enemy I need to get rid of. Nice.
Yeah, that's front of the door. Oh, that one, yeah.
Okay, so now I assume I have the correct height for this. Nice.
I think you should be able
Sometimes,
to climb,
sometimes Paralog is weird and you'll get like really weird height, like much lower than you'd think, and it just completely like prevents you from doing skips.
Yeah, even if you're on the ground, sometimes you won't like properly land after the jump, so you'll actually lose height. You just fall through the ground even though you're still above it.
And yeah, another way to break Paralog is just to use bonfires. So I'm taking these bonfires for safety and just to break Paralog here, because I need to be lower to be able to interact with this coffin that takes me to this wonderful area.
Yeah. That not many runners called by its true name, let's put it that way.
Yeah. So, yeah, the gimmick here is this blizzard just covers the entire thing. You can't see anything, but I took a line using the coffin. And I'm gonna try to like maintain these lines just so I can reach the end and fight the boss. And the second gimmick is you followed by these guys who have spawn points pretty much everywhere. So right now I only have one of them following me. It's already pretty bad, and at some point there will be like multiple of them. And it kind of depends on which line you take, but it's really hard to take like the best lines every time.
Yeah. Just so few visual cues to go by, and you have to wait for the snowstorm in between.
Yeah. One thing that makes this much better, obviously, is how much HP we have. And just the fact that you can use a bright bug. So yeah. I reached the middle point, which is this house, and now I'm going to use a bright bug. Just kind of line up here. Mushroom. And yeah. This is the part that I really hate. You can probably hear it from my game, but yeah. There are like two guys behind me right now. So yeah, you can strafe some of the stuff, but like sometimes they just spawn in front of you and it's pretty difficult to dodge.
Yeah, and also sometimes some of the horses will chase you like all the way down to the floodgate, which can be really scary as well.
Yeah, oh, that one almost hit me. So yeah, I'm gonna do something a bit like surprising, but I'm gonna use Twin Blades for this fight because I just find Twin Blades to be like a lot easier for this fight. Normally, optimally, you would use the rapier. It's actually faster, but recently when I came back to this category, I found myself just getting these like really bad fights, and you don't want to have slow fights on this boss because it's a double boss, and yeah. Oof. So I'm just gonna wait for this guy to go down, do this, get the range attack. So these guys are the same as Ava, just visible and with slightly less HP. And when the first one is at like mid HP, the other one actually spawns. Okay, first one's dead. Just gonna take it easy and wait for this range attack. You could go aggressive here, yeah. Okay, well, Twin Blades movements, can even like dodge, and yeah. Okay, well, he's just gonna like jump back and buff now, and the fight's done.
Nice. Don't want to do that run back, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So even if you have a slow fight, if you feel a risk of dying, take your time, honestly.
Yeah, so we're done with DLCs, so there's still like a few bosses to go. And one of them is Gargoyles, which is always kind of funny to me because this is such like a kind of mid-game boss, like fighting them after like DLC 3 is a bit funny. So I'm just gonna use this guy, and yeah, so there's a better strat to do this. That Sten is found, and I don't really go for it.
Yeah.
It's a bit sad, but yeah, you just use a ladder to adjust your height, and then you can actually enter the boss arena from the outside. As you can see, it's actually here, just not loaded, and you just touch this and it loads by magic.
Yeah, the alternative is to sort of squeeze yourself up by jumping onto the alcove there on the window. But you're like barely not high enough to just hit the top of the roof to begin with, so you have to like squeeze in at a specific angle. Much more control than the way Fujo just did it. But yeah, you melt these guys at this point.
Yeah. Okay, so now there's like one like the boss we need to do before like the final like 3 bosses. Yeah, it's that was a Dark Lurker, and Dark Lurker you need to you need to complete some dungeons. You need to complete a covenant, and that covenant you need to finish some dungeons. And dungeons are like these small areas where you have a bunch of enemies to defeat. And this moon jump's a bit annoying sometimes. But yeah, you enter this thing right here. Oh, I failed to jump. Sad. Yeah, you can cancel this animation of a jump. I just didn't really do it. But yeah, these dungeons are really random, and you kind of do them at the very end. You kind of want to do the DLCs first. The DLCs are much harder, but these are really annoying because these are NPCs. NPCs are very chaotic usually. So just kill this guy first, and then you're gonna see why we use force in this run. Yeah, just get rid of these guys. So yeah, there technically is a skip in our patch to kind of like just go from one dungeon to Dark Lurker, but we can't redo that because Harry Walk is just much more limited.
Yeah, it's both a pretty long one, and you also require jumps along the way to be able to do it. So
yeah, we just do dungeons normally. So yeah, Twin Blaze just takes care of these NPCs. Yep. Yeah, so there's a total of 3 of them. So there's one in Shady Woods, one in Gulch, and one in Drunglake Castle. We do the Drunglake Castle one last, so we don't have to warp. Don't have to do an extra warp. We just exit the Dark Lurker fight with Homeward, and then we can head to the final segments.
Yeah, other than that, the order doesn't really matter. As soon as you do the third one, you will be brought to the Dark Lurker boss fight.
Yeah, here you can cancel the prayer animation for the Covenant by jumping when he's about to give you the prompts, which saves a bunch of time.
Yep, which you can't really do on console because you need auto run for it.
Yeah,
you would have been able technically to do it with Skirt, but Skirt also interrupts the NPCs because you do poison ticks. So
PC. Yeah, there's a lot of PC exclusive stuff in this game. It's kind of disgusting. Oh, just running away. Okay. So because I loaded a save file, I don't have the safety butterflies. You need a total of 3 in this run, and the only pickup you normally get has 3. So I need to really not mess up, but it's fine. I can just cheat again if that happens. If I die, because we don't mind cheating with speedrunners.
Oh, a bunch of cheaters, anyways.
Yeah.
Tool-assisted speedruns as well.
Okay, he straight up goes to the worst spot possible. Really huge fan of the AI in this game. Okay, how do I approach this situation? Oh, this is so bad. And yeah, now it's just falling apart because of this guy. It's cool. And of course he doesn't die from that. Okay, it's fine. I'll just take it slowly. And of course, of course he's guarding the other one.
And a third.
Wow. Nice. Okay, I'm gonna heal another time because this guy is insane amount of damage. Yeah, that was worst behavior from that guy possible. I don't know why I'm getting now. Seeing him go up this little ramp, you never see that. Basically, normally he just stand there, you kill him, it's fine. No, he just has to do this today.
Yeah.
This is what happens when you cheat. Yeah, Tanimura knows. So yeah, because we didn't talk to Aldia in his last location, we just have to warp there. And it's kind of funny, yeah, because you just warp here. He's already spawned in this like little form. Just exhaust the dialogue, and that's it. There we go. How many bright bugs do I have? 3. Perfect.
That works.
Baby Aldia.
Yeah.
I don't know why he's so
Wait, so
small.
small, yeah.
It's a interesting design choice. So this last dungeon is a bit stressful because it has like the toughest enemies,
Yeah.
and you need to keep this HP for the RTSR setup on Dark Lurker because once you clear this dungeon, you can just enter the fights. So yeah, for example, these 2 attacks you definitely don't want to get hit. And we can do this neat little strat if they actually follow me, which sometimes they don't. Perfect.
Yeah, and you might get like a bit of your taste of your own medicine here, because this Wrath of the God effect is something like basically the ghosts can do too, and just launch you into the pits as well.
Yeah, it's
But
pretty
they can
bad.
do it
Kill a
from
lot of
range.
runs. Okay. Oh, I don't have the right spell selected. So this last one, just kill, and we can head for Dark Lurker.
Very nice. Yeah, so recently when I keep this house is for the explosion attack, right? Which brings you right into RTSR, or is it?
Yeah, you just need to you just tank 2 attacks and it's enough for RTSR. So here it's gonna be enough. It almost missed me somehow.
Which is crazy, because that one is like hard to dodge if you don't know the direction it's coming from. Classic meme explosion.
Classic early phase 2 as well.
Yeah.
Really bad.
Ooh,
Okay, well,
was,
the RNG there, I kind of YOLO'd it. That's how you would play normally. But yeah, that was... Whoa.
Well done. That was a bit scary, yeah.
Yeah, the rock
But look at
blocked
that
me as
roll
well.
away, yeah, on the rock. That's... Now, final 3 bosses. Or 2 bosses.
Yeah.
One's not a boss. Doesn't count.
Yeah, he doesn't drop any souls. Doesn't drop a soul, doesn't give souls. It's the worst boss ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, so... Yeah, you have Duo, and then once Duo is dead, you have Nashandra, and once Nashandra is dead, you get Aldia. If you do everything Aldia needs for his quest. And Aldia is like terrible like boss for speedruns. He has these attacks that you cannot punish because he has this aura that like negates damage by a lot. And then in phase 2, not only does it negates damage even more, it deals a lot of damage to you. So
Yeah.
it's
If you're close
it's
enough
like
to killing him, it's very tempting to just stand there in the fire and kill him. But you have to know your damage if you're gonna go for that.
yeah, you can just stand there for like 2 minutes and lose so much time on Aldia. It's insane.
Yeah.
Nice duo RNG. Was interesting.
Well, it's not exactly the Sanso duo.
So duo doesn't deal a lot of damage to me because I have so much HP. So you usually want to play super aggressive, but the problem is sometimes you just jump away or stare at you. Yeah. And then Nashandra. Chandra has a setup which you can do. Oh, obviously, she doesn't want to do it because I'm in a marathon run. Normally, you can bait an attack and she just you can punish immediately, but there she
Yeah,
just
normally you just go straight behind her and she does the same attack and you can just finish her off in 2 cycles. But
and yeah,
how it goes in marathon.
yeah, we successfully completed all the quests, so we get the best boss fight in a run.
Let's go.
So we're gonna see how much time we lose to him. Oh, well, that's the best attack possible. So already pretty good actually. So you want to keep oh no, you want to keep his HP right above the sin word on his health bar, but I dealt too much damage somehow. That's unfortunate. So he buffed, but that's fine. I can still kill him because he teleported. Okay, so there you can see the how much damage the aura deals, and he drops 0 souls. Not a single item, no souls.
But yes, GG's. Of course, sad to have to use some save files, but otherwise, I want to commend you on like showing the the ability to actually not mindlessly go for the same straps when boss fights don't go as planned. Playing them safe, making sure you don't die. That's I think a good, nice strength with you. So overall, still a good run. Below estimate. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm gonna check how much time that was real time. Yeah, 209. Nice.
Yeah. So very good. Yeah. Any final words you wanna say before we move on?
Yeah. So, just want to give a quick shout out to Stennis for doing commentary. So he didn't have anybody for commentary, and he did commentary for me. With me. So very nice of him. And just want to give a shout out to Sonovi because he can't watch the run, and also shout out to Poleto because he's watching probably. And they, yeah, I said I would shout them out. And yeah, just shout out to Buddhistan Army in general. You guys are amazing.
Always watching. I see a bunch of them in the other discords watching along. So definitely they are bringing support, and a huge amount of the runs for the marathon as well, carrying this quite hard. So yeah, thank you, Fujo. Great run. With that, we're going to transition over to the routing showcase featuring Jeff, Pseudo, Red, and Silo. So stay tuned for that. We're getting close to the end, so don't get too sad when this marathon is over. But we still have a couple of really exciting entries left.